This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some major updates to share with you. Social Security Subcommittee just had a hearing about how to help the benefits for Social Security recipients. I'll let you know what came out of that meeting. Plus, I'll give you an update on the $200 and $540 per month increase for Social Security recipients. We'll talk about the renewed push for $2,000 stimulus checks and the $1,000 to every American stimulus check on a federal level. Also, interest rates are going to continue to go up according to the Fed to help curb inflation. I'll let you know what a Republican senator is saying what President Biden should do to help his poll numbers and some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers. I'll talk more about that later on in the video, but first, inflation is the top problem facing America, with no other issue coming close, survey shows. So amid swelling prices, most Americans see inflation as the biggest issue facing the country, far exceeding other concerns, according to Pew Research survey. 70% say inflation is a very big problem with the country, followed roughly by 55% healthcare affordability and violent crime. While 84% Republicans say inflation is a top issue, only 57% Democrats were concerned about rising prices. Is inflation your biggest concern? I mean, money rules everything around us, so yeah, I would think so. Anyways, what's being done about it? Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve Chairman, says the Fed will not hesitate to keep raising rates until inflation comes down. So he said he will back interest rate increases until prices start falling back toward a healthy level. If that involves moving past broadly understood levels of neutral, we won't hesitate to do that. Are we going to get, 15% mortgage rates again and how it was? I think it was like in the 80s and 90s. Let me know your thoughts on that. Should the interest rates keep going up? Is this going to help? Well, on another note, Biden and Bezos, White House punches back at billionaire over inflation tweets. So yesterday, I shared some tweets and info from Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos bashing President Biden as well. President Biden is getting it from all sides: Republicans, Democrats, billionaires. America, everyone's kind of bashing on Biden now. America's not in the best state. But what was going on here is that Jeff Bezos said that Joe Manchin has saved the Democrats and President Biden's country, and saying that the president's misdirection in arguing that higher taxes on wealthy people could curb inflation. And then what President Biden said to that is, you want to bring down inflation, let's make sure the wealthiest corporations pay their fair share, which is a low blow because Amazon, one of the biggest businesses in the entire world, and Jeff Bezos, one of the richest people in the entire world, barely pay any federal taxes, right? So that's billions of potential dollars that could be paid, basically because of tax loopholes. So that's how President Biden got back at him. But regardless, President Biden's job approval rating hits new low on NBC poll amid inflation and high gas prices. Really tough time for President Biden right now, but let's talk about Social Security. So Social Security payments need to be $540 more today to equal value in the year 2000. So basically, it's saying that the COLA is not enough, saying that according to data from the Senior Citizens League, high inflation has caused Social Security benefits to lose 40% of their buying power since the year 2000. And in order for everything to be better, the Social Security rate, or what does it say here? This means that in order to maintain the same buying power from 2000, Social Security benefits would need to be $540 higher per month than they are right now, which means anybody on Social Security is suffering a lot. That means they're basically paying an extra $540, which goes nowhere in invisible tax, inflation. So when it comes to Social Security recipients, it's a really, really hard time. And I see your comments. It's a big struggle, and there definitely needs to be a better move. Not just a COLA increase once per year, but the COLA increased 5.9%, which is good. It was good at the time, but with inflation above 7%, who knows how much higher it could go. It really should be adjusted, or an emergency adjustment to help out people on Social Security. It's a really bad situation. So what's going on with the rises? So back in the day, this article right here, Schumer, Warren, and Wyden unveiled plan to increase benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. For all Social Security beneficiaries. Also, again, here with this plan, increase standard Social Security and Social Security disability insurance benefits immediately by $200 per month, making it $2,400 a year increase, and plus a few other rules and everything like that. That was adopted by President Biden to run for office in 2020 against former President Trump. He put $200 extra per month for Social Security, forgive $10,000 in student loan forgiveness. Huge promises. He got the vote for anyone who had student loan forgiveness or student loans to want to get it forgiven, plus Social Security recipients. Let me know, did you vote for President Biden just so you could get that increase in $200 or the student loan forgiveness? Let me know, because there hasn't been any mention of this. It was on his website and I would share it often, but since maybe like since 6 months ago, he hasn't, I guess he erased that part of the website, the increase for $200 per month for Social Security. So what is being done about it now? So on John Larson's website, he is a Congress member. He wants to have the Social Security 2100 Act, which has a few different things in it. Basically, at the moment, it's going to increase the bank account to savings account by a few thousand, which is good, but it's not going to increase Social Security. So yesterday, Larson opening statement at Social Security Subcommittee hearing on strengthening customer service at SSA. So there was a hearing yesterday, and all they discussed was strengthening the customer service at the Social Security Administration. Let me know down in the comments below, should customer service be improved? Is that something you would want, or would you rather just have higher pay? So it looks like priorities are not really set straight when it comes to Social Security. Let me know your thoughts on that. Should it increase? What numbers should Social Security increase to? Social Security recipients who are retired dedicated decades of their life to help the economy, to make our economy grow bigger and what it is now. All thanks to them. And people in SSDI, they're our most vulnerable people in our society. So anybody on Social Security definitely needs to be taken care of and have bigger benefits. Let me know if you agree with me down in the comments below. Let's move on to stimulus. So would rather give $1,000 stimulus check to each American. Republican Representative Rand Paul blocks $40 billion Ukraine aid. So basically, $40 billion, it is almost approved. There was a motion to approve it. It's just the vote before the vote. So $40 billion going to Ukraine. Some are saying that money should just be given to Americans and give out $1,000 stimulus checks. So, and that got some momentum. A lot of people got behind that, having a push. Then rather than give money abroad, which is okay in small amounts, but really it should be helped, or should be helping Americans who are living here and help out all the domestic problems first before abroad. Let me know if you agree with that. In terms of $1,000 federal stimulus checks, I don't know. I'll keep you updated on that. And then also we have Pennsylvania governor renews calls for $2,000 direct payments. So this is in Pennsylvania, and the governor wants to give out $2,000 stimulus checks. They have a lot of money, basically, from the American Rescue Plan. They have a bunch of money left over, and they want to send direct payments of $2,000 to each Pennsylvanian. Saying, I first introduced this plan 4 months ago. Sorry, let me start over. I first introduced this plan 4 months ago. A lot has changed since then, from inflation to price increases to a war in Ukraine. Pennsylvanians need our support even more today than they did in February. Under my plan, Pennsylvania households earning $80,000 or less will get up to $2,000, and they could use the money for whatever they need. This plan will help Pennsylvanians get back on their feet right now, but I also want to look ahead to the long-term solutions that will help keep Pennsylvanians on the path to prosperity. So That's what Governor Tim Wolf of Pennsylvania just said. What do you think? Is this a good idea, bad idea? $2,000 state stimulus checks for Pennsylvanians. Should that go for other states as well? For other states that have extra stimulus money from the American Rescue Plan, should they use that money for higher amount stimulus checks? Some states are giving it maybe like $125 and up, which actually I'll go over right now. Which states are giving out stimulus checks? So stimulus update, nearly a dozen states are preparing to send more money to residents. So I'll just go off really quick on which states are doing what. So California, potential $400 gas stimulus checks, or for cars, anyone who has a car, 2 per household, so that's $800 stimulus check there. Illinois, proposed payments of $100 per adult, $50 per child in a household. Idaho wants to give 12% or $75, whichever is greater, 12% of 2020 taxes. Maine giving out those $850 stimulus checks. New Mexico, $500 for couples, $250 for singles. And then there was an extra child tax credit of $175 in New Mexico. Indiana, $125 per single, $250 per couple. Georgia, $250 per single, $275 for head of household, and $500 for a couple. New Jersey, $500 stimulus checks there, $1,000 for couples. Virginia, $300 checks for individuals, $600 checks for married couples. New York has a property tax relief credit, which could be up to $970 for New York residents living outside New York City. And then Hawaii proposed $100 checks. That hasn't been approved yet, which could be, and then $100 per dependent, no cap on that. So those are the latest state stimulus checks. I'll keep you updated if anything else changes. Also, take a look. Here is Republican Senator Kennedy talking about how President Biden could do a better job.
Tell me about this resolution. And in particular, Senator, I would love to know, what would this resolution accomplish? What can you force the Biden administration to do?
Well, you can lead a man to the presidency, but you can't make him think. What our resolution is intended to do is try to get the Biden administration to focus on those issues that moms and dads are worried about when they lie down to sleep at night and can't. Things like crime, things like the border, inflation, the baby food shortage. I don't know if it'll work well for 2 reasons. I think most Americans understand that in its first 14 months, the Biden administration has not exactly rocked it. Why is that? There are 2 reasons. Number one, the president, I think, has delegated an enormous amount of his responsibility to his appointees. Number 2, who are his appointees? It's a interesting mixture of 2 groups. Number 1, he has a bunch of uber Washington insider elite types who mentally haven't been out of Washington mentally for more than 10 minutes in their lives. They think Washington is America and America is Washington. And the second group that he has running the show, there's some overlap, I would describe as the crunchy granola types who like to attend gender reveal parties. I mean, they're very, very woke. And they're just not focused on the issues that are worrying ordinary Americans right now. I'm not saying they don't believe in democracy. They say they do, but they really believe in government by experts. And they think they're the experts, and they're smarter than ordinary Americans, and they're more virtuous, and that everybody ought to shut up and listen to them. And if we're nice, they'll let us eat meat occasionally.
I love your two categorizations. I would correct you on one thing. I think gender reveal parties most Americans go to, and the gender studies department will reject the gender reveal party because, hey, how can you know if it's pink or blue at birth? You got to wait and let their kindergarten teacher.
May I give you an example, Will?
Actually, Senator, that's what I wanted to ask you. Give me an example of both. I'd love to know an example of the elite and the crunchy granola you described.
Well, let me give you an example of how this works in practice. We know we have a baby food shortage. We know that at least part of the problem originated months and months ago with the Food and Drug Administration. Here's what the president ought to do. He ought to call in the top 10 people at the FDA, and he ought to say, number one, what happened? And give them about 20 minutes to explain what happened. And then the president ought to turn to the top 10 people at the FDA, and he ought to say, you have 10 days to fix it. Now, I can promise you at least one of those top bureaucrats is going to say, oh, Mr. President, you don't understand. It can't be fixed in 10 days. We need a bunch of consultants and experts. That's the one you fire. And then the rest of them will fall into line.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, I want to tell you the one thing that you can do to yourself. Be kind, be smart, and also you have to be kind to your mommy, your daddy, or your brother or sister, or anything that you want. And also you have to be kind to yourself.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your time, all of your support, your likes, your comments, subscribing, and just spending some time with me really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Don't forget I'm giving out $200 checks to my subscribers. Details of how you could enter to win down in the description below. And that is all I have for today. If you want to check out my latest pickleball video, it just came out today. You could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.